Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Unboxed. I'm so glad that you decided to join us. For the next few episodes, I want to discuss why family is so important in every relationship system that we're a part of. Family is important, whether it's church family that we are a part of, workplace family, community organization, whatever it may be. Our family of origin relationships have a profound impact. So what we're going to do is we're going to unbox your leadership by unboxing your family relationships. Stick around. I'm Dr. Robert Davis, family life educator and relationship coach, and welcome to Unboxed, a frank and straightforward conversation about relationships. We're going to talk about family, church, workplace, and all other types of relationships. Join me for the next few moments as we unbox the power and potential of relationships and help you to live your best life. All right. Gather around. So glad to have you here again today. Thank you and welcome to Unbox. Before we get started, do me a quick favor. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. That's right. Like, subscribe, and share, and hit the notification button so you can learn about all the times that we go on live. You can always be a part of our broadcast. And if you're listening to this podcast, please check us out at www.swg-unboxed.org. That's swg-unboxed.org. All right, let's jump right into this. Too many leaders, and I've seen this, and I've had this experience. I'm going to share a couple of testimonies with you today. Too many leaders do not see the correlation between their family relationships and their other relationships, such as workplace or church family or community organization, whatever it may be. They kind of like draw this dichotomy. There's this, the two are on two total different sides, and the twain shall never meet. They really don't see, how there is a direct correlation. Some believe one of three things, and I'm going to share these three things with you very quickly. Number one, I had a good relationship with my family, but my workplace relationships are difficult, so there can't be a correlation. Let me say that again. I had a good relationship with my family. However, my workplace relationships are difficult, so there can't be a correlation. The second thing that some people believe is I have distanced myself from my family and their toxicity. So I'm not affected by how my family functions. I've distanced myself. The third thing is I have cut off my family. I don't even have anything to do with them anymore. I have completely cut off my family, so I'm not affected by how my family functions. And so that's how some leaders think of it in one of these three ways. And to be honest with you, that is very false. Nothing could be further from the truth. The truth is, and I want you to catch this, the truth is we learned how to function in relationships by the very first and most important relationship that we ever functioned in, which is our family of origin. We learned how to function with our equals by the way that we interacted with our siblings. We learned how to function with our superiors by the way we interacted with our parents. We learned how triangles, I'll talk about that later on. We learned how triangles develop, how anxiety spreads, how to manage anxiety, all of those things we learned in our family. We learned so much in the way that we function in our family relationships. And so for someone to say, well, you know what? I don't have anything to do with my family, so that doesn't impact me. Or I'm distant from my family, so that has nothing to impact me. Or I had a good family relationship. My workplace is difficult, so that can't be what it is. Or I had a difficult family relationship, and my workplace relationship is actually functioning well, so it can't have anything to do with, those concepts are just not constructive or productive. I want to share a quote with you. This is from Peter Stanke. It's a book that he wrote relative to church organizations. And this is what Dr. Peter Stanke said. He said, each of us must say, I am who I am because I am a child of a pair of parents, grew up at a certain period of time and with a certain group of siblings, lived in a specific neighborhood, attended school A and not school B, worked in a particular job, married a certain person, resided in this place and not somewhere else, established a specific special circle of friends, experienced these events rather than those. The self that we have is a self that is forged in a particular community. You take away our history and there's not much of us left. I want you to think about that. The self that we have is a self that's forged in a particular community. Take away our history and not much of us is left. And here's another very profound, deep thinker by the name of Dr. Robert Davis. And here's what he said. Our behaviors, interactions, and instinctive responses are programmed into our family's generational computer. Thus, it is important for us to do the hard work of understanding our family of origin and the emotional functioning of previous generations. This understanding allows us to become more self-aware. Once we become more self-aware, it is easier to self-regulate. Yes, that was one of the most profound thinkers I've ever interacted with, a guy by the name of Dr. Robert Davis. Hope you get a chance to meet him one day. All right, on a serious note, our families have a profound impact on the way that we function in all other relationships. Let me give you a quick story. I was doing some coaching one time with a particular lady who was extremely frustrated. She was a director. She was frustrated with the CEO. And one of the things that the CEO would do is that during times of difficulty in their relationship, he would cut off all communications. He had a very difficult time communicating during tense, stressful, anxious times. So you can kind of imagine how challenging it is to work for someone and they're not communicating with you. They're just sending you emails and you have different things you need to, have face-to-face or other conversations with them. And she was stressed out. You could literally see in her body gesture just how tense she was with this whole ordeal. And so we began to talk, and I was just listening. And she said something that was quite profound. She said, I'm used to this because this is how my father functioned. This is how my father acted. And I asked her this question, when the time was appropriate. I said, how does it feel working for your father? And she began to weep. She just broke down and started to cry when I asked her that question. And I think that, even though we didn't get a chance to get deep into it, I think she began to really see, at least at that point, we had not gotten deep into it at that point, but she was overcome with emotions because she was beginning to see how the way that she functioned in her family relationships showed up in other relationships. It was profound. And her computer was saying, okay, here's the same problem you've dealt with before. Let's go at it again. And she was stressed out just like she was at home, because the reality is we learn to function from our family of origin. All right, that's all I got to say today. Let me go and close it out. So, what do you learn from your family about relationships that impact the way you function in other relationships? What do you learn about your family relationships that impact the way you function in other relationships? I really want you to think about that and really kind of hone on that. Man, what did my family teach me about relationships? And I'm gonna give you some very specific tools as we go throughout this, these next several episodes or broadcasts together. But I want you to begin thinking about that. What did my family teach me about relationships and how to function in relationships? How did they teach me to function when things are very tense and stressful? What did my family teach me about dealing with people who are gossiping on me or dealing with individuals who are, manipulative? What did my family teach me about how to manage myself in these various relationship types and in situations, et cetera, et cetera? Because we learn to function in a healthy manner in the closest, most necessary, most emotionally impactful relationships. If we can do it in those relationships, get this now, if we can learn to be our better self in the most close, impactful relationship, which is our family of origin relationship, then we can do it in every other relationship. Practice makes perfect. And this is how we unbox our leadership, by unboxing our relationships. I'm going to see you next time. Take care.
Seasoned with Grace, Unboxed also provides healthy relationship training and leadership development for businesses, churches, and community organizations. For a free consultation to discuss your team's needs, please contact us at our website at swg-unboxed.org. That's swg-unboxed.org.